Rock-cut architecture is the practice of creating a structure by carving it out of solid natural rock. There are many examples of work of this kind, often done on a grand scale and involving intensive labor. The rock-cut tombs and temples listed here are among the most amazing and beautiful buildings in the world. In this video, we explore the best rock-cut tombs and temples. We've collected a list of the top rock-cut tombs and temples, so make sure to include them in your list if you're a visitor. At first in the list, number 1, Petra, the fabled. Rose Red City, half as old as time, was the ancient capital of the Nabatean kingdom. It is without a doubt Jordan's most valuable treasure and greatest tourist attraction. A vast, unique city, carved into the side of the Wadi Musa Canyon centuries ago by the Nabateans, who turned it into an important junction for the silk and spice routes that linked China, India and southern Arabia with Egypt, Greece and Rome. Number 2, Abu Simbel. Abu Simbel is an archaeological site comprising two massive rock-cut temples in southern Egypt on the western bank of Lake Nasser. The twin temples were originally carved out of the mountainside during the reign of Pharaoh Ramesses the Great in the 13th century BC, as a lasting monument to himself and his queen Nefertari. The complex was relocated in its entirety in the 1960s to avoid their being submerged during the creation of Lake Nasser, the massive artificial water reservoir formed after the building of the Aswan High Dam on the Nile River. Number 3, Valley of the Kings. The Valley of the Kings is a valley in Egypt where, for a period of nearly 500 years from the 16th to 11th century BC, tombs were constructed for the kings and privileged nobles of the new kingdom. The valley contains 63 tombs and chambers, ranging in size from a simple pit to a complex tomb with over 120 chambers. The royal tombs are decorated with scenes from Egyptian mythology and give clues to the beliefs and funerary rituals of the period. Number 4, Valley of the Queens. The Valley of the Queens is a place in Egypt where wives of pharaohs were buried in ancient times. The valley is located near the better-known Valley of the Kings, on the west bank of the Nile across from Thebes. This barren area in the western hills was chosen due to its relative isolation and proximity to the ancient Egyptian capital. The necropolis holds more than 70 rock-cut tombs, many of which are stylish and lavishly decorated. Number 5, Ellora Caves. The Ellora Caves are located 30 kilometers, 19 miles, from the city of Aurangabad in India. Ellora represents the epitome of Indian rock-cut architecture. The 34 Buddhist, Hindu and Jain rock-cut temples and monasteries were built between the 5th century and 10th century. The Buddhist caves were the earliest structures and consist mostly of large, multi-story buildings carved into the mountain face, including living quarters, sleeping quarters, kitchens, and other rooms. The Kailasa Temple is the unrivaled centerpiece of Ellora. Number 6, Ajanta Caves. Ajanta Caves in the Indian state of Maharashtra are rock-cut cave monuments dating from the 2th century BC. The monastic complex of Ajanta consists of several viharas, monastic halls of residence, and chitigrihas, stupa monument halls, cut into the mountain scarp. By 480 AD, the caves at Ajanta were abandoned. During the next 1,300 years, the jungle grew back and the caves were hidden, unvisited and undisturbed until 1819, when the rock-cut temples were rediscovered by a British officer. Number 7, Churches of Goreme. After a volcanic eruption about 2,000 years ago, lava formed soft rocks in the Cappadocia region, in Turkey. The softer rock was eroded away by wind and water, leaving the hard capped rock on top of pillars, forming the present-day fairy chimneys. People of Goreme, at the heart of the Cappadocia region, realized that these soft rocks could be easily carved out to form houses, churches, and monasteries. These Christian sanctuaries contain many examples of Byzantine frescoes and represent a unique artistic achievement from the post-iconoclastic period. Number 8. Yungang Grottoes. The Yungang Grottoes are ancient Buddhist temple grottoes in the Chinese province of Shanxi. The grottoes were mainly constructed in the period between 460 to 525 AD during the Northern Wei dynasty. They are an outstanding example of the Chinese stone carvings from the 5th and 6th centuries. Altogether, the site is composed of 252 grottoes with more than 51,000 Buddha statues and statuettes. Number 9. Longmen Grottoes. The Longmen Grottoes are densely dotted along the Xiangshan and Longmenshan mountains in the eastern central part of China. From north to south, the distance covered by grottoes is about 1 kilometer. There are over 2,100 niches, more than 100,000 statues, some 40 pagodas and 3,600 tablets and steles in the caves. Construction of the grottoes began in 493 AD. The Longmen area is open to the public, and although the grottoes cannot be entered, most of the artwork can be seen from the exterior. At last in the list, number 10, Mogao Caves. The Mogao Caves form a system of 492 temples 25 kilometers, 15.5 miles, southeast of the center of Dunhuang, an oasis strategically located at a crossroads on the Silk Road. The caves contain some of the finest examples of Buddhist art, spanning a period of about 1,000 years. Construction of the Buddhist cave shrines began in 366 AD as places to store scriptures and art. Along with the Longmen Grottoes and Yungang Grottoes, the Mogao Caves are one of the 3 most famous ancient rock-cut temples in China. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite rock-cut tombs and temples? Is there something we missed? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to Greenable if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.